This graph will cause Cardano to double. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about my short to medium term Cardano price prediction because right now Cardano is sitting kind of in this limbo state, basically just trading sideways around the 35 to 45 cent region. But I think there is something waiting for Cardano, a big rally that's going to come relatively soon as a result of a major breakout that's going to happen on Bitcoin. In last week's video, I talked about the CPI cycle and how that's likely going to drive Bitcoin to at least $32,935 over the next 45 days. And in this video, I'm going to show you how that breakout that I believe is coming in just under a week is going to have a huge impact on the Cardano market and finally send it into a major rally so that it can catch up with Bitcoin. Guys, right now Cardano is sitting in exactly the same position that it was right before its previous bull market that ended up sending it to $3.13. I'm going to show you in a lot of detail how multiple different technical factors are predicting a major rally on Cardano, and then I'm also going to share with you the one major stumbling block that Cardano is going to have to get over to be able to go into a massive rally in the year of 2023 and beyond. If you want to know where Cardano is going and why it might double in just the next couple of months, you found the right video. But without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. This website is the single biggest driver of Bitcoin's price and therefore the rest of the cryptocurrency market's price. This chart is the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index chart showing the inflation of the United States dollar over the last 12 months. At present, the inflation of the US dollar is sitting at 6%, but it is very likely that on April 12th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, inflation of the US dollar is going to drop from 6% down to about 5.8 to maybe as low as 5.7%. When we see that drop, we're very likely to see a massive rally in Bitcoin, which is where that video comes in. That video went out last Saturday talking about something called the CPI cycles. If you have not watched it, it is a very, very helpful precursor to watching this video because we're going to apply quite a few of the concepts from that video in this one. But today we're talking about Cardano. Cardano is currently facing off against a massive level of resistance, and that is 40 cents. This level of resistance that Cardano is facing off against has been very important in years past. It was first used as resistance here in May of 2018 during a total market correction, the bear market of 2018, when Cardano rallied up to test 40 cents as resistance. The next time 40 cents came into play was here in January of 2021 when the entire cryptocurrency market was going through an explosive bull market as a result of heightened liquidity because of huge amounts of quantitative easing and money printing that the Federal Reserve was doing to try and stave off the negative consequences of the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. The next time 40 cents came into play, Cardano was using 40 cents as support on May 14th of 2022 and July 15th of 2022, respectively. And now Cardano is stuck below 40 cents, which not long ago was the basis of the descending triangle pattern accumulation phase that Cardano found itself in, which we eventually broke bearish out of. In short, Cardano has not even broken above its pre-FTX collapse level of resistance that was previously support. May I explain? On Bitcoin, there were four major levels of resistance that Bitcoin had to break through. The first one was the pre-FTX collapse level of support. That was the basis of the market structure. For Bitcoin, that was sitting at $18,000. The next level that Bitcoin had to break through was $21,500. That was set on November 4th, 2022, just 4 days before FTX collapsed. It was a major local high that Bitcoin would go on to use again in future. Then Bitcoin had to contend with this level of resistance that was set on September 13th at $22,808. That was a very major level of resistance for Bitcoin as well. Finally, the next level that Bitcoin had to break through and now has broken through was $25,236. It was a very critical level. Now, these levels all exist on Cardano as well. Those levels are as follows. 40 cents was the basis of the accumulation phase right before FTX collapsed. This level of 40 cents is equivalent to $18,000 on Bitcoin, and Cardano's not even above that level yet. After that, Bitcoin had to break through these three critical levels at $21,500, $22,808, and $25,236. Those levels, based on the date that those local highs were set, November 4th, September 12th, and August 15th, are as follows. 43.5 cents on Cardano, 53 cents on Cardano, and 60 cents on Cardano. I have reason to believe that Cardano could end up breaking through all four of those levels of resistance within a month and doubling. Let me explain why. Right now, Bitcoin is testing and attempting to break through its next major level of resistance at $28,545. If you watched that video I showed you earlier that came out last week, you'll understand why I believe that Bitcoin is going to break that level at some point within the next 7 days of this video uploading, i.e. within the second week of April 2023. When it does that, it's likely to move on to its next major level of resistance at $32,935. About a $5,000 rally on Bitcoin. That's pretty good. When that occurs, that will likely send Cardano through at least one, if not two, three, or maybe even four of those levels of resistance I just showed you. Cardano has been under the boot of its own resistance that was built during the previous bear market and has not managed to rally above it for one critical reason, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But the exciting news here is that if Bitcoin really, truly is going to rally $5,000, as I expect it will, that will almost certainly, just through peer pressure, drive Cardano through 40 cents, more than likely through 43 cents, which would break it through this resistance zone, which would push it then into major VRVP resistance that starts above 43 cents and potentially all the way through it up to resistance around 50 to 53 cents. Remember, 50 cents being a big even is going to be a very important player here. And if we are able to break through at least 50 cents, you are going to see a lot of exuberance from Cardano. And the hashtag ADA gang is likely to jump right back into action with their excitement about the next bull market. I believe, best case scenario, Cardano, which is currently trading at 38.5 cents, could rally all the way up to this resistance at 77 cents. Well, where does that come from? Well, 77 cents is equivalent to Bitcoin's level of resistance at $32,935. Why? Well, both of these markets set those levels as critical support, and both of those levels were broken in the first week of May 2022. And after those levels were broken on both of those charts, we had confirmation that both of these markets were in bear markets. I'll explain. On Bitcoin, everybody was hoping that in 2021 and 2022, this correction was just a bull market correction and we'd end up bouncing off of this uptrend as drawn here and we'd go back to all-time high at some point in late 2022. That's not what happened. After Bitcoin fell below this uptrending level of support and below $32,935, which was a level of support set on January 24th, 2022, everyone knew that it was a bear market. The exact same thing happened on Cardano. We came down and set a level of support, this time not January 24th, but March 10th, 2022, bounced, rallied, corrected with Bitcoin's correction post-Ukrainian invasion by Russia, and once we fell below 77 cents, that was the end. Everyone knew that the bear market had come. Truthfully, most people knew that Cardano was in a bear market already because it had already dropped 75%, but everybody knew at that point that that was the nail in the coffin. I think with this CPI data drop, it is very likely that Bitcoin will break through 28,545 and rally all the way to 32,935, entering Bitcoin into what I call the pre-halving phase of the bull market. We discussed this chart in this video up here, so make sure to go and check that out. And in doing so, could send Cardano to at least 50 cents or so, but could all the way double Cardano all the way up to 77 cents. At some point in the not too distant future, I believe Cardano will be trading at 77 cents as this entire cryptocurrency market gears up for a fresh bull market. A few things to discuss here. First of all, I want to discuss some of the ways that I think Cardano will go into a major rally, and then I want to discuss some of the risk factors, and hint, hint, it's not what you think. First and foremost, whenever Bitcoin and cryptocurrency goes into a bull market, traditionally speaking, you see Bitcoin runs away with market dominance and kicks off the bull market all on its own. We see this happen at the beginning of every bull market. Just to give you context, over the last 3 months, we have seen Bitcoin's market dominance rally from 38% all the way up to 46% as fresh money pours into Bitcoin before it pours into altcoins. The same thing happened here in 2019 as Bitcoin was beginning its bull market in March and April. We saw a rally from Bitcoin's market dominance from 50% all the way up to 70%. Oftentimes, people don't think of Bitcoin's bull market as starting in March of 2019, but it actually did. It started right here with this rally, and that's when Bitcoin took off with market dominance. Ethereum, Cardano, Polygon, Solana, Matic, Polkadot, all of your friends in the top 10, top 15, top 20 have been suffering at the hands of all the attention being on Bitcoin. That's typically not what happens for the entirety of the bull market, though. At some point, people make so much money in Bitcoin, and the altcoins are so undervalued that people take their profits out of Bitcoin and dump them into altcoins. Cardano is a prime example of where those profits will be taken out of Bitcoin and put into Cardano. Cardano just needs to prove itself and rally another few dozen cents, up to 50, 60, 70 cents, and then people will start to pour money in it, and you'll see a lot of volatility in it. And that brings me to the risk factor. You might be thinking, Jebb, I know what the risk factor is. Cardano dropped nearly 95% during this bear market. Doesn't that mean that Cardano is dead? After all, Jebb, Bitcoin dropped 77% during this bear market. Ethereum, its largest competitor, dropped 81%, and then you have Cardano, which dropped 92%. The thing you have to keep in mind is that Cardano's done that before. Cardano has dropped 97% before. And from that bottom, Cardano would go on to rally 12,000% in the span of 1,000 days. Cardano having dropped 93% is not the major risk factor that Cardano is going to have to overcome to go into a major bull market. What is? Very simply, the answer is Ethereum. You see, I am a fan of Cardano. In fact, we've made a lot of videos on Cardano over the last several years. I think it has great technology, but I am also a realist, and I'm also dedicated to telling you the truth. And there is a very real risk factor for Cardano this bull market, and it is not the fact that it dropped 92% and that it dropped farther than Bitcoin. That's not that big of a deal. It's a younger cryptocurrency than Bitcoin and Ethereum both, especially in its adoption. The risk factor that Cardano is going to need to overcome, and if it overcomes this, it will be in great shape, is very simple. It needs to build technology that is beneficial enough that it warrants the transitionary cost of moving from Ethereum to Cardano. There are tons of reasons to switch to Cardano. Everything from governance to speed to proof of stake being incredible to the leadership to inclusive accountability being a core value for Cardano, for decentralization purposes, for stability purposes, for ease of programming, for the ability to create great projects and platforms and DEXs and NFT platforms, etc. It's a great program. It's a great layer one, and there are plenty of reasons to move from Ethereum to Cardano. The problem is, there were plenty of great reasons to move to horseless carriages in 1890. Ford didn't invent the car. Automobiles have been around for quite some time. It took there being a big enough incentive to switch from horses and horse-drawn carriages to horseless carriages. Adoption did not take place immediately. The transition did not take place immediately. There had to be a big enough benefit to warrant the transitionary cost. Same thing from transitioning from candles to light bulbs. There had to be a big enough transitionary cost from switching from flip phones to smartphones. There had to be a big enough transitionary benefit to warrant the transition cost. Bitcoin is facing the same thing. There has to be a big enough benefit to being in Bitcoin that it warrants the transition cost from moving your investment portfolios out of just stocks into Bitcoin, or even more so, moving your daily driver currency from the US dollar or another sovereign currency to Bitcoin. The biggest threat that Cardano faces is that enough people won't switch from basically the industry standard of Ethereum to Cardano for Cardano to be worth the investment and for Cardano to go through a massive bull run. I personally think that Cardano will get through that because I do think it has that superior technology, and I do think that new developers will build on Cardano. But if there's one thing standing in the way of Cardano doubling or tripling or moving up by a factor of 10, an order of magnitude, it is the adoption. So that's something we're going to pay very close attention to on this channel. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm going to tell you straight up, Cardano is in a great position as an investment because it will more than 5x to go back to all-time high, but it is going to have to contend with that adoption. That's the biggest risk factor, but that's also why I think Cardano very well may double in just the next 30 days. If you enjoyed today's video, I would encourage you to check out Club DeFi, because Club DeFi is the place where I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. Look, guys, the markets are always shouting information at you, and if you are paying attention, then you're going to hear when they give you a buy or a sell signal. But if you're not paying attention, then the market is going to be shouting signals at you, and you're not going to be able to listen to them, to internalize them, to be able to make profit by them. Technical analysis is the way that you communicate with the market. It's the way that you understand what the market is trying to tell you. That's why over the last 5 years, I've been teaching thousands of students how to do technical analysis. We've had over 5,000 students go through our academies and learn how to do technical analysis, and I actually have a really cool story for you. A good friend of mine named Kevin actually just created a music video using the proceeds that he made going through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, the former academy that we had where we taught people technical analysis, and now through his experience and journey in Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis, which again, you can see right here. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis in cryptocurrency, there is no better place to do so than in Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. So I'd highly encourage you to sign up with the link in the description box down below and get started learning today so that you can make some money and make some profit here in cryptocurrency by being able to read charts the way that you just saw me do in this video. If you enjoyed today's video, consider hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that post notification bell so you won't miss a single upload. We go live on Coffee and Crypto 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. These videos go up every Saturday, and then I have a motivational, educational, informational video that goes up on Sunday, so stay tuned. That'll be coming out 24 hours after this video goes live. That's all I got for you today. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.